Standing at the edge of the mountain, the world stretched vast and wild beneath me. Forests spread like a dark sea, rivers cutting through the land like veins, and mountains rising in the distance like ancient sentinels. Villages and towns were scattered below, tiny specks among the chaos of a land broken by the Three Prince War, the same war that had torn my life apart. Somewhere far out there, a faint blue on the horizon, might have been Linden, my home, where it all began. I squinted at the distant shape, hoping for a glimpse of something familiar, but the distance blurred everything into a single smudge of uncertainty. That place, where my father left for war, seemed like a lifetime ago. I could still see him, standing with the other men of the village, summoned by Lord Oldwin, his hand firm on my shoulder, my mother's quiet tears slipping down her cheeks even as she tried to smile, to be strong. The memory of her cut deep. Her name, Lottie, will always remind me of her gentle nature. After my father left for the war, she did everything she could to distract me from his absence. She read stories to me, her voice soft and full of warmth, sang old songs from her childhood, and even danced with me around the small fire, trying to keep the ache of his absence at bay. But when the music stopped and the nights grew quiet, reality settled in. The men were gone, and the women took to the fields, hands rough from work, backs bent under the burden of a life they hadn't asked for. My friends and I, we tried to help. Freya, Egon, Erland, and me. Small hands doing what we could in a world that suddenly felt so much bigger. But Peder, the man with the mind of a child, he didn't help. He stayed behind, wandering the village like a shadow, a burden no one could shake. I still remember the terror in Freya's eyes the day I caught him before he could hurt her. His strength, far beyond what any of us could handle. His rage had been wild, dangerous. And my mother, she saved me. She stepped between us, between his madness and me. Her blood spilled that day because of me. The weight of it pressed on my chest as I stood on the edge of the world, the wind biting at my skin. The land below was a maze of pain and memories, of war and loss. Peder's justice didn't come from the village. It came in the form of a brigade led by Captain Varric. They arrived suddenly, steel in hand, faces cold and unyielding. Peder's punishment was brutal, swift. They strung Peder up like a scarecrow in the fields, his arms bound to a wooden frame, the order clear. No one was to take him down. It should have brought relief, seeing him pay for what he'd done, but it didn't. The village had wanted to handle it themselves, to deal with him in their own way, but Varric's soldiers had taken control. At first we thought Captain Varric was just, that maybe he'd brought some order to a life that had been falling apart, piece by piece, even after we saw Peder's fate. But what Captain Varric did next, what he did to my mother, what he took from her, left a stain I could never scrub away.